Hi, my name is Paul Quinterio. This DVD, No More Cardiovascular Disease, contains 3 presentations. The same 3 presentations can also be found at a website, www.nomorecardiovasculardisease.com. The presentations are not that long. In fact, the first presentation is only 5 minutes, yet most people that watch it never forget what they see and hear. The second presentation starts out by talking about 4 discoveries, 4 of the greatest discoveries in the history of the world pertaining to saving, enhancing, and prolonging human life. Each one of these discoveries in its own time resulted in a Nobel Prize. The first 3 discoveries, as you watch this DVD or watch it on the website, the first 3 discoveries most of you will recognize immediately. The 4th discovery, however, most of you will never have heard about it, even though it resulted in a Nobel Prize in Medicine in 1998, a dozen years ago. Most medical professionals, most doctors have not heard about this. One prominent Utah doctor, after learning about this discovery, he was recently interviewed, and he talked about how he discovered this, and as he studied the overwhelming scientific evidence, in addition to the Nobel Prize, he became convinced. Then he became angry because he realized that he was just now learning about this, and he thought about all the patients he could have helped in the last dozen years if he had known about this sooner. The second presentation also talks about why this information was buried and who buried it. The third presentation starts off by talking about the science and how this discovery works within the human body to eliminate the #1 cause of death. You do not have to die today from a heart attack or stroke. You do not have to die today from a heart attack or stroke. Then the last part of the third presentation, you'll meet Dr. Joseph Prendergast, MD, practicing doctor for over 35 years, board-certified endocrinologist. And in June 2008, he was awarded the prestigious Father of the Year Award from the American Diabetes Association. Dr. Prendergast, who likes to be called Dr. Joe, when he learned this, he was excited, but then he thought, why me? All of my kids are grown up. Well, then it was pointed out to him that he was specifically given this honor for #1, saving more lives than any other physician in the United States. #2, clinically testing and documenting the results of over 6,000 of his own patients. #3, admitting less than 1% of his patients to the hospital in 19 years. Now that's a current figure as of April 2010. A couple years ago, he hadn't admitted anybody to the hospital. And #4, not losing 1 patient to a heart attack or stroke in 19 years. Now medically, that is highly significant considering 80% of his patients, Dr. Joe's patients as an endocrinologist, have diabetes. And according to the American Diabetes Association, 2 out of 3 people who suffer from diabetes will die from a heart attack or stroke. And in 19 years, he has not lost 1. Again, medically, that's highly significant. And if I were a medical doctor or a medical professional or a physician, and I'm just learning about this now and caring about my patients, I would want to know, what did he do to achieve such marvelous results? Now consider this. In this consensus year of 2010, we know that there are approximately, even without the consensus today, approximately 309 million Americans. Americans make up less than 5% of the world's population, yet we consume about 35% of all the legal manufactured drugs in the world, prescription drugs, over-the-counter drugs, and we spend more money on health care, which I call sickness care, because you do not go to the doctor when you're well. You do not go to and take drugs. You do not take drugs when you're well. So we spend more money on sickness care than any other country in the world by far. In fact, we spend more money on health care, sickness care, than most countries produce in wealth. And so we must be the healthiest people in the world. Yet you can go and Google life expectancy from birth, and you'll pull up a number of listings. One of them is the CIA, or you can go directly to the CIA Central Intelligence Agency, www.cia.gov. Type in those words, life expectancy at birth. It'll pull up 224 countries. That's how many came up today. And the way they ordered is from country number 1 all the way down. Country number 1, the people, the citizens in that country live longer than the citizens in country number 2, and so on and so forth. So we spend more money on health care, sickness care, we take more drugs, we must be the healthiest, we must be right up there at the top. Folks, we're not even in the top 10. Canada is, Australia is, Japan is, Hong Kong is, but we're not. We're not even in the top 20. We're not even in the top 30. We're number 49. Well, what does that mean? That means there's 48 countries in this world where the citizens of those countries live longer than we do. And yet we spend so much money on health care, sickness care, and take all these drugs. What's the definition of insanity? That is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. Now, in conclusion, if you are 40 years of age or older, you have a 50% chance of experiencing a heart attack or stroke sometime in your life. Now, would you get on an airplane that had a 50% chance of crashing? I wouldn't. None of us would. Yet, why live then with a 50% chance of someday having a heart attack or stroke? You watch these presentations, and you'll learn that you don't have to. Get with the person who gave you this DVD, and they'll tell you, after watching the 3 presentations, they'll tell you the rest of the story. Or if you're watching this on the website, there is a 4th presentation that's not on this DVD that tells you the rest of the story. Again, you do not have to die from a heart attack or stroke. Please take the time, watch this, and you'll know why. Thank you very much.